All right, folks, so quick update. We just got the brake calipers back from paint. They came out wonderfully, and I know you've all been wondering what color did we decide to go with. I hope you left your opinions in the comments. You know, should we have gone yellow, orange, green, black maybe? You know, we just knew that we had to change that gray, right? Lo and behold, this is the color we went with. All right, so as you see here, we went with an orange. Now this typically we will have to, when we are doing brake caliper color changes, we try to go with an OEM color for a particular vehicle brand and model or whatever the case is, right? As an example, with the R8, we went with Vegas Yellow, which is an Audi exclusive color. That's because the stitching in the interior of the car were done in Vegas yellow stitching, right? So we wanted to bring that same yellow out to the exterior and tie that in, right? With this car, we don't have a particular color code to match with cognac, and I felt like, again, cognac brake caliper just won't work. But in my opinion, there was only two colors that we could have actually gone with that can go with a green or a dark green like this, which was yellow, but we've already done that before, or an orange. So we had to figure out what shade of orange did we want to go with. There's multiple shades, as with any other color. We could have went with a more yellowish orange or a reddish orange. And so we tried to stay somewhere in the middle of the spectrum, right? We have some wheels being made, as I mentioned to you before, from MV Forge. We are going to have a very small, when I say small, we're talking about 0.5% of that wheel will have a little orange in it, 0.5. So that means it's just a little hint. And it's going to be very hidden, and it's going to be on that center cap, because we did know that we wanted to go with an orange brake caliper. So what we wanted to do is try to find out what color they were going to use and try to match it as closely as possible. So what MV Forge did is they sent us out an example of their color, and they had some bolts that they already had done in that orange, and this was the orange that they had, right? So we wanted to now, at this point, now the good thing is our painter, very, very good over at Soccer Modified, and Joey, shout out to Joey over there. I've given him multiple projects in the past, multiple, to the point where it required him to custom match certain colors that we just didn't have a paint code for. And he normally hits us dead on, and that's why we continue using him. So what we wanted to do is try to match something like this. He was able to do so, but I wanted to go a little bit more red, just a tad bit more red. You know, so what we did is we found that this was gonna match pretty well. It's close, but we wanted it to be a little bit different, a little bit more red. I wanted to just give it a little bit more darkness because of the darkness of the green. So that's where we went. So I don't think it will clash with the small, tiny hint of orange that's going to be on that wheel and that center cap of that wheel, just because it's so minute. So it won't clash, but it's a little different, and that's what we achieved here. So that's what we got. We're getting ready to install this. While we're installing this, since we have the brake calipers off, we are going to upgrade the brake lines to stainless steel brake lines. And then on top of that, and the reason why we're going to do that is just to eliminate as much of that rubbery feel that you get on stepping on those brake pedals and stopping, right? We are going to be pushing the horsepower on this, so we want to, it's very much as important to make sure that we're able to stop as it is important to go ahead and be able to go, right? And so we're going to upgrade this to stainless steel brake lines, and then on top of that, we're going to filter out and replace the brake fluid that we have in there with race brake fluid too as well. So we just want to make sure that we're hitting on all cylinders when it comes down to modifying this car. We don't want to go and not have the ability to stop, especially with the weight of this vehicle. You know, we want to have as much stopping power as possible. So we're not leaving any stones unturned, okay? So next is just to get this back onto the car. Let's get this installed, install the brake lines, and get some race brake fluid in there, and let's get this car moved out, because we have some other projects that we have to do on this lift. So stay tuned.
update, guys. You've seen our previous video of the RS7. We did almost the same exact thing that we're doing to this RS6. In regards to the intake, the inventory intake, we installed that on the RS7. And the RS7 was a 2022. This is a 2023 variant. Sometimes what will happen is if there's a new production year of a vehicle, it might have the same actual model and same thing, but they might do some minor updates. They're gonna find that there are some issues with the current or the previous production models that, that they needed to fix prior to releasing the new model. So 2023, as we're moving along, we found that there was an update, and that means that with the part that we installed with the inventory, which is what Chris is working on now, you see he's doing some shaving. That's something that we didn't have to do with the RS7.
We got this 2023 Audi Rs6 for the shop. You might have previously seen our RS7 video where we did the same inventory intake upgrade where it had the enlarged turbo inlet pipes. For the 2023, it seems that Audi has done minor updates, and the one that's getting in our way currently is the PCV, or the crankcase ventilation, where previously on the 2022 RS7 that we had here, this port right here was originally used for the crankcase ventilation. As you can see with the new updated one, now this is plugged up, and they switched the way it goes into the turbo inlet housing here. Right, so unfortunately, but fortunately, we do have to do some modification to the inventory inlet pipe that you see here. First of all, I had to cut the little nub off of here, and I also have to shave it down so that this can clear. And we have to get some kind of plug to go on here so that this can be capped off and it can continue running. But given that this is brand new, this might be news to inventory, which is okay. We can give them the update, let them know what we notice on the install so that they can fix it for future updates. But as you can see, this is starting to fit a little better. I am going to have to continue grinding this down a little bit so that this can clear through and sit flat on this flange right here. So, as you can see, sometimes having aftermarket parts, regardless of brand, the manufacturer could throw a wrench in the mix of updating a few things, which is okay. They probably had a situation here where this was causing issues going in through here, so they put it up and relocated it up here at the top.
So now that we have a slight solution to this issue, this is going to possibly put us into another issue, and that is we are contemplating upgrading the turbos onto this to get us to the power parameters that we want to get to, right? And because they relocated that hose from the inlet to the turbo housing, the turbo upgrades, we are again ready to purchase. We were just about to purchase or possibly purchase the new upgraded turbos. We have to make sure that those turbo housings have a place for us to plug that into as well. So now that might either create a delay, or now it's going to, or again, the manufacturer is going to have to come up with some kind of a solution and fix to now the update of the 2023. So we might end up having to resort to a stage 2 for now until we solve for that issue to get to a stage 3. We won't know until we start talking to our partners. Today's a holiday, so we're going to go ahead and contact them tomorrow, let them know what we're running into, and see if we have a problem already resolved for it, or how long and how much of a turnaround time for us to get the new turbo upgrades. So always fun when you're doing aftermarket, right? But this is the stuff that you're going to run into at some point or the other. It comes with the territory. Yeah, you got to pay to play. So it comes with the territory. Sometimes it's just not going to be a very smooth sailing process. Again, that's where we come in. We find problems, there's always a solution to every problem. We just have to figure out what the solution is to this, get our partners involved, and then basically move forward. So we'll keep you posted on that. To be continued. Our media team to get this together. Right? All right. All right, folks, so here we at with